Just when you think this series can get a little more unserious, it does. And, the matter of fact is, I did appreciate the Bill Belichick actor for getting all the little mannerisms down. And then the Robert Kraft came knocked that one out the park as well. So when it comes to the lookalikes, I'm gonna give them their props on this. They did their thing. But when it comes to Aaron getting turned on by his massage therapist, his PT dude, they just keep spreading maybe a little bit more misinformation than what there actually is. Welcome back. What's poppin', y'all? We back with another recap of the Aaron Hernandez story, American Sports Story Edition. I appreciate y'all for joining me as we talk about episode Quattro. Now, this episode, we got the origin story. We got to see what happened when he was a little kid and how he's taking it out on his brother for not being there, which I think is a little unfair. His brother was outside playing, and how is he supposed to know what's really going down inside? I mean, he's a little kid supposed to be acting like an adult. So I think that's unfair, but then he has his own trauma to it as well. So it's just a lose-lose situation all around. I feel bad for his brother out of everybody in this whole instance because he just keeps getting short end of the stick. He's getting bullied by his little brother. He's getting bullied by the coaches and the agents saying he ain't good enough to be playing. He getting punked left and right. It is tough for his brother. So I can see why he might have some issues himself. If you read up on some news, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's crazy for the brother. But I think that just him getting turned on by like the trainer and just the sexual innuendos that keep being thrown in here, like that is the whole part of his life and story. It's just getting away from the fact of it was more of a concussion thing. It wasn't a sexual thing. I think we didn't even really get much of a concussion thing this episode. It was all last episode with the blur, with this hallucinations and seeing blurriness. It was all just like, oh, like he's trying to hide that he's, gay. But I just think it's just getting overblown because that's the more interesting part of the story. But I don't like that they just keep trying to make that seem like it made him do what he did. That's what it's insinuating. But we'll get into the top, y'all. So we get to the top. It's a flashback of him as a child, presumably being sexually assaulted by his uncle. Horrible, terrible. Send that man to jail. I feel bad for everyone in the family of having to had to deal with this. I mean, I'm sure his brother might have had to deal with it too. But your kids, you're not going to speak about it. And that happens a lot. A lot of family members take advantage of the younger family members behind closed doors. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of things in society happen, at least in American society, and then turn the kids into scarred adults. And that's really terrible. That's really, really terrible. I'm thankful I did not have that happen to me, and no adults try to take advantage of me and my family in that manner. Because I could be scarred from that still today. I could be really damaged. So I really feel for those people who had to deal with that and have to walk around like everything's okay, but they have to carry this burden, this baggage in the back of their minds throughout the rest of their life because that's something they will always remember. So that's definitely a big factor. So he starts meeting with agents. They're hyping him up. They're taking him out to parties. They're putting him on yachts. They're getting him everything he wants to eat. Now, this is a lot over exaggerated as well. I met with one agent. Now, granted, I was not a first round, second round, third round, fourth round pick, anything like that compared to Hernandez. Not all American, but I have friends that were very over exaggerated. They're not taking you to Miami to get shrimp cocktails on the rooftop of a five-star apartment or hotel building and then just doing whatever, partying it up. You're meeting with agents as like business, and then you're doing your deeds somewhere else. That giving you any money. They're the ones that negotiate your deal. It's not like you sign with the agent and you're just rich. So like that's what they're making it look like. and these agents are going to give you the life of luxury when that's so far from the truth. Agents are there to make the deals for you and give you and take their 10% and assumably look out for you. That's it. So I get it, it's TV, but just can we be a little realistic here, please? Like the agency was just ridiculous. I felt like I was watching Mad Money with the way these guys were trying to just, or Mad Money or like an auction, the way these guys were talking. It's ridiculous. But I did like the flip phone touch where they kept it in, you know, 2008, 2009, roughly. People were starting to use bigger phones than like Blackberries and the basic iPhones. So not a ton of people were still using flip phones at that time because that's when Androids were starting to come out. So maybe they just are a few years behind on that. And we see the agent meeting that takes place in his house. Agent's explaining everything. He's like, okay, we need you to do this, this, and this. Hernandez is pretty much ignoring him. His family is trying to keep him intertwined. But they portraying Aaron to be just not interested at all, not even listening to dude, arrogant, pompous, stupid, and once again over exaggerating. He was a dumb athlete, which I don't think he was like, okay, he was stupid. But in the fact of most aspects of his life, I don't think he was dumb in that many areas. I mean, it's just hard to believe that someone just would have an NFL agent in their house and just act like it's just another dude and they don't care what happens and whatnot. I think that was very general, very baseline, very stereotypical of them to portray it like that. It was just like, okay, what you see is what you get, which is far from what it is. So I really wasn't a big fan of that. But yes, they soon, get him over exaggerating him and his brother on the football fields. His brother goes with him to train with him. Very excited, and they like do a pass play to the end zone, which I thought was funny. And they act like they just won the Super Bowl like they're little kids. Now look, I get it. For the love of the game, we all kids at heart. We all get on the football field in our free time and throw it to our friends and simulate situations in our head. We do it. But they literally was acting like they were 10, 11, 12 years old having a fantasy. Like a kid fantasy. Like it was just kind of cringe. They're turning Hernandez into such a caricature. Such like a just stereotypical caricature when he's a dumb football jock. He's DL hidden in the closet, and they're making him seem very pubescent acting in that manner. With the concussions, just in and out of it. Like, I just want some realism. Just some realism. Like, this dude was mature, okay? He was dumb, like, at the end of the day, but looking at him in putting him in such boxes, I feel like he was more than just boxes. You kind of have to be if you go to the NFL. I mean, terrible on the Wonderlic tattoo. We'll get there, but it was just too many boxes that they're making it too simple for him. And so I just think he was more than that. And then what happened to like going to church, the Jesus thing? Like that just stopped all of a sudden. I didn't see one mention of anything of that early in this episode. I think he mentioned it once to the scouts, like, oh yeah, I started going to church with Tim Tebow. But even that whole thing was like he flipped the script and it just seems so just fake and watered down to me. But we'll get there. So soon we get to this trainer. The trainer. Look, y'all. I've gotten plenty of massage. We've all gotten massage in our life. Everyone, I'm sure, has at least once. You start touching certain spots, yes, you might get a little ticklish and whatnot. But I don't even know what to say. He felt himself getting aroused. He showed him getting him aroused and then him getting hard. Once again, just like, I believe this whole trainer thing is fabricated and made up. There's no way that I could see that going down. You're telling me you could suppress it all this time, keep it hidden pretty well in front of all your friends. I know you guys have you and your friends have Aaron Hernandez and his friends have wrestled, horseplay. He's gotten massages before, but this time it happens when it's when you're about to get drafted, when this could ruin everything. Far fetched to me, very very far fetched. And then he puts a burden on this trainer of like this trainer knowing, but them not really saying anything, and he doesn't really have a talk with this dude, which is part of the immaturity as well. But that's just far fetched to me, y'all. Like, come on, really? They made sure to zoom in on the imprint too. But yes, Aaron's brother DJ goes to the agent to propose him being a practice squad quarterback. He says, "Hey, you got any spots available for me? You think you can help me out?" And the agent's like, "Look, bro, you ain't no good. You, you can't throw a football 50 yards. You weren't even good at UConn, one of the worst football schools in the country." I don't know why they make his brother seem so delusional and seeming like he could use Aaron to get himself to be in the NFL. That's basically what it seemed like. If you can't even be a decent quarterback at UConn, which I don't know his brother's stats. I have no idea how he played. Maybe he was good. I don't know. But I now you going to UConn as a quarterback, I don't think you're going to the NFL coach. I don't think it's one of those tales. I just don't. So I think they're making his brother look stupid too, because his brother had no hand in this project, and I think nobody in their right mind would be like, you have to be really naive to go up to an NFL scout and someone in a position of that magnitude and just naively ask, "Hey, like, you think there's any positions out there for me in the league like that?" Like, bro, that is so far how that works. Everyone knows that. You don't just ask and be like, "Oh yeah, we do have a spot open. You should come try out." That's like saying, "Oh, I want to be on Broadway. Is there any spots open?" "Oh yeah, like there's spots open. Come on for the show. We got it. We got you." No, no, no. Do they think the casual audience is that dumb? I thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever. But anyways, the agent tried to get DJ to snitch on Aaron about smoking weed. Tried to get him to cop out about that, which I'm sure they already knew. Maybe they just wanted a validation. But I don't see why they think his own brother would snitch on him when they didn't promise his brother anything. And the fact that he might say he even hinted at it. Still, you're asking your brother to snitch on a brother when you're down there to help him, and he's gonna get drafted anyways and make millions. I don't think so, coach. Crazy. But then they start working on the interrogation process. Yes, in the NFL, you get interviewed by a lot of teams that will ask you crazy questions. That is true. That is true. You get asked about your sexuality, about your past girlfriends, about your jobs, about who you hang out with, every little thing you could think of, and even thing you couldn't think of, they will ask you. I've had friends tell me some crazy things. I remember one time I had a friend, they asked him what his favorite color was, and they asked why that was his favorite color. Then it was just silly things, some serious, but it's just these teams want to know who you are. They want to actually know how you just really speak and how you present yourself. That's why these questions, they want to see how you react when you get put in an adverse situation. That's mostly what it is. They don't really care about the answers to most of these questions unless it's something serious, like you've been to prison or got arrested or anything like that. But everything else is just they're just seeing kind of how you are, how you move, how you act, how you react. Like they said, they are putting millions of dollars into you, and they don't want to put $1 million into somebody who's going to lose themselves in the music by somebody asking them a sensitive question, and they don't know how to overcome that. So it makes sense on that part. It was just funny how they made Aaron seem so stupid and falling for the bait every time so easily. And then all of a sudden they explain to him real quick, and then he gets over it just like that. They make him seem so dumb in this, and I hate it. Soon we get more sexual attention from the trainer. That's when, Aaron starts getting a little excited. And the agent soon tells Aaron that his character is basically the problem, is not his talent, and Aaron lashes out on him hard again. So basically, simplistically, he just falls for the bait. Look, we spoke about it, y'all. I can't say any more about that. Just dumb. Then we get the dramatic part about his father showing up. Uh, his father shows up in like some hallucination thing popping up, some recollection, some bad dream, and that might have to do with the headache. I don't know if that really went down. I doubt it. And he's like, tell him the truth. Tell him the truth about who you are. Felt like I was in like Star Wars or something like that about like Darth Vader or something like that. And like take off the mask and tell him who you are. I was like, Jesus, relax. Pretty intense. But that was just kind of funny. And soon, yes, we see Aaron finally get into his new routine, getting ready for the draft, working out hard. The way the dude runs is a little wonky. Look, the actors playing him look just like him. He's doing an all right job, but who anybody teach my bro how to run athletically? He looked like he really ran a day in his life. I mean, he ran straight up with his arms like not even really moving. I don't. It was crazy, yo. Should have used the stunt double for that one. But yes, it's soon draft night, and Aaron is falling quick. Agent said first round, second round. It ain't neither of those rounds. He ends up going in the fourth round, and as Aaron's waiting to get drafted, him and his brother get in an argument, which I think was made up again as well. I definitely think it was fabricated. You're not gonna get in a fight the weekend of the draft. And if you don't, for those who don't know, the NFL draft works like this: Thursday is round one. That's it. It's 32 picks. Rounds two and three are Saturday. That is 64 picks, I believe. Then you have rounds 4 through 7 on Sunday. Pretty simple. Aaron had to wait probably 2 days. Aaron had to wait 2 days in order for his name to get called. So yes, there are a lot of frustration, especially if you're expected to go first or second round. More so second round, third round. I'm pretty sure he was expected. But fighting with family, uh, pushing your brother to the ground, doing all these things, lashing out. I doubt that happened. And they were watching the draft like in the dark, like the lights were off and everything. There was no celebration, no party, like just a little realism. Did they do any homework on this part or what? Like most of the time when a player gets drafted, there's a camera in their house and it shows the big celebration of what just happened. I didn't look up if Aaron Hernandez had this or not, but I'm pretty sure he did because almost every single player drafted has this. And he had nothing. It was just his brother just calling him and Aaron running down the street in the middle of the day, like, I got drafted. Oh my gosh. I'm just like, what? Why wouldn't. Oh, yeah, it was pretty comedic in that instance. But yes, during the fight before he gets drafted, Aaron blames DJ for not protecting him. We talked about this earlier, and he was lashing out on him and his cousin, and it's just a mess. Yeah, I get players get mad and whatnot, but I ain't never seen no instance to where they just push, starting fights and going crazy. Maybe that has happened to some player or two before, but they make an Aaron just seem like he loses himself in the music with the snap of a finger. What happened to all that training and discipline and all the things he's been practicing, the church things? It's like every time he gets upset, all the stuff that we thought he learned goes out the window. I don't get it. I don't get it. The consistency is just not consistent. Consistency is not consisting with what is going down and what has been going down. But soon, yes, he gets drafted, and before he does, we see the green room, and the green room is where the coaches, the GMs, president of the team, all the scouts, they're all together talking about who the team should pick. And this is where we meet our friend Bill Belichick. Now, this is probably my favorite part of the episode. This dude, he gets the mannerisms right. Bill Belichick, he kind of talks like this, doesn't move his mouth much, mumbles under his breath. Definitely, that's how he talks. He does not enunciate clearly. He laid back. They over exaggerated his sarcasm a little bit. He's not that funny. I know he's not. He doesn't. He wouldn't be cracking jokes and just saying like, "Who cares about this draft pick? We just get this guy, trade him, save $100,000." Like, look, Bill Belichick has a reputation of being cheap and not really drafting the best talent, I will say. Like, Patriots never really had like an amazing, amazing draft. I mean, even Tom Brady got in the sixth round, of course. Like, they never really do great in the draft. But just the way they did it, and they explained how like they made it seem so just like whatever, like we're just picking a player, we don't really care what we're doing, we're just picking a dude, we can bid anybody we want, and just so laid back, when that is so opposite of how it is. It's very intense in there, and it's serious. And usually the coach calls the player or the GM in drafts, and they talk on the phone, and I don't think we got to see that. So just a little weird. And Robert Kraft, dude, look just like Robert Kraft, I will say. But oh, I'm curious to see how they continue to portray Bill Belichick, because the dude did do a good job. I was very curious to see how they're going to do that, but a little over the top too, just a little over the top with the way that things probably went down. And so we get to see, like I said, we end the episode with Aaron and DJ celebrating in the street, and which is very far fetched, like I said, and that's pretty much the episode. This episode is pretty much just a long buildup of when he gets into the NFL. Not as overzealous as the first three episodes, I'd say. I don't mind them telling this story in a theatrical way, but just making things just so dramatic kind of take it away a little bit from me, because I'm just rolling my eyes and just laughing half the time, because some of the stuff is just so crazy to see. It's so out there. It's so fantasy land. It's just someone's fan. It seems like someone with the fantasy is writing this about Aaron Hernandez, and has the regular story, and then just writing some of their wants and wishes into this as well. And I just want the true story, man. If we can't get like authenticity, it should have just been kept on a Netflix documentary instead of an actual TV show like that Alexander the Great show. If you ain't seen my recap on that, check it out. It's two parts. Whew, that was a crazy one. But yes, y'all, that was the recap of Aaron Hernandez, American Sports Story, episode 4. We will be back next week with episode 5. And yeah, series we have, I think, 6 episodes. I think it's 8. I think it's 8. I think we're halfway through, y'all. So, hey, it's been interesting. Definitely getting to a busy time of the year with me and whatnot. A lot of football coming around, playoff baseball coming around. Got the vlogs in there. Check them out. Make sure to tune into those. Be popping off on TikTok too. So if you ain't followed the TikTok, it's dandremac. And yeah, y'all, it's been a busy fall, but it's gonna just get busy from here. So until the next time, y'all, peace, blessings, deuces, and have a great rest of your day.